Toy Story 4 theories that may ruin the movie. We all thought that Toy Story 3 provided the perfect ending to the Toy Story franchise, but it looks like Pixar will prove us wrong yet again with the release of the fourth film hitting theaters July 21st. Toy Story 4 is looking like it will be a fitting conclusion to the series that jump-started 3D animation back in the 90s. However, this movie clearly has a lot of dark secrets and potential plot lines to it. Today, we at InZone are delving into several theories that may just ruin Toy Story 4. You've been warned.
Before we hop into the video, remember to subscribe and turn notifications on. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below saying you did so, and we will try to respond to as many of you as we can.
Bo Peep's return. Bo Peep is back and better than ever, it seems. She's sporting a brand new look, which might appear innocent on the surface to many longtime fans of the series, but it's clear to us that she's had a very rough couple of years. Much like Little Wheezy in Toy Story 2, it's reported that Bo Peep was sold in a yard sale. She's likely had to fend for herself and find inventive ways to stay alive because, after all, she's really just a delicate porcelain lamp. Imagine how careful she has to be in her day-to-day life. There's no doubt in our minds that Bo Peep has been through a lot in her life. It's made clear she fights off other toys in one of the trailers for the new movie. However, this is very unlike the Bo Peep of Toy Story 1 and 2. In other words, as we've known her before, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Her personality has made a complete 180. She's definitely going to be helping Woody throughout the movie, maybe even influencing his decision on whether or not he'll return to live with Bonnie. Because after all, living a free life without a kid has much to offer in the eyes of Bo Peep. In fact, she's 100% going to be a big influence on whether or not Woody and Forky decide to return to Bonnie at the end of the day. After all, these toys have been through a ton throughout the years. Maybe Bo Peep has a point. Living a free life without having to be there to make a kid happy would be a much simpler experience for Woody and the gang. Maybe it doesn't sound so bad after all. Toys to life. Moving on to the second theory of the day, one question many people have formed from watching and enjoying the 3 already existing Toy Story movies is what causes a toy to come to life and be conscious to begin with? Well, we believe Toy Story 4 will definitely give us the answers to this very big question. To drive home that point, Forky literally questions his own consciousness. After all, he's a fork, or a spork. Bonnie must not know the difference. Either way, Forky being alive is definitely very interesting. We all remember being very young and making little creations of our own, which leads us to the common theory that it's the magic of children's imagination that brings said toys to life. Applying this logic to the new character Forky just about proves this theory. Bonnie created Forky with glue, googly eyes, and creativity, thus he comes to life to join the roster of other toys. If a child can imagine just the concept of a toy being alive, maybe that makes a toy come to life. Shortly after Forky is introduced, he's seen disregarding his life as he throws himself out of a moving car, just as Woody does moments later. In a way, this plot is mirroring the other Toy Stories, specifically the second movie. In fact, it's literally the same exact concept. Buzz and the gang are looking for Woody and Forky, which was the same idea in the second film, excluding Forky, as obviously he was just created for the fourth installment. If Pixar really does show us the reason that toys are able to come to life, it's going to answer a lot of questions. But we aren't really sure if fans should know the reason toys come to life, because potentially it ruins some of the magic and charm the movies have had. However, if they do explain the concept of bringing toys to life, which we're betting they will, we then can apply this new logic to the other 3 movies to get a better understanding of the franchise as a whole. Emotional ending. The voices for Woody and Buzz, aka Tom Hanks and Tim Allen respectively, have publicly stated on a variety of occasions that the end to Toy Story 4 is going to be an extremely emotional one. After all, Pixar is well known for its heartbreaking endings and plot lines. As such, we believe one possible ending that fits Pixar's MO would be the death of a character. The most obvious of choices being Woody, Buzz, or maybe even Andy, as we see him in the trailer mirroring the end scene from Toy Story 3. If any single character died in this last film, it would be devastating for sure. Sadly, back in the real world, the voice actors for both Slinky and Mr. Potato Head have passed away since their last run as the characters. The creators might choose to address that in the movie by having their animated counterparts pass on as well, though we generally doubt this will happen. Another potential theory behind this extremely sad scene that the actors are referring to, revolves around the group of toys becoming obsolete and forgotten, without a kid to give them the magic they need to survive or even just the attention they need to thrive. Even in our world, technology has taken over almost every aspect of our lives, and many kids are ditching physical toys entirely. We saw this with last year's Toys R Us bankruptcy and closing, and in the rise of kids as young as 2 getting access to phones, tablets, and all sorts of other devices. Is it true that Woody and the gang don't have a purpose anymore? A toy without a kid isn't really a toy after all. This would definitely be a sad and upsetting finale for the Toy Story films, so we hope the ending doesn't turn out this way. To us, these toys still have a place in our hearts, and we aren't ready to let them go. We hope whatever they have planned for the ending is more of a bittersweet ending than just a plain bitter one to these classic movies. We believe in you, Disney and Pixar. Don't let us down. Bo Peep's the bad guy? Well, we've already talked about Bo Peep, we have another idea to present about her. Maybe she's not such a good character after all. She could potentially even be the twist villain in this story. Think of Lotso from the 3rd movie, but even more deceiving considering Woody's love for her and the long past that he's had with her. It would be a huge stab in the back to Woody if this theory actually turns out to be true. If she is the villain and intends to cause harm for the huge cast of toys, this will also make us rethink everything we know about the prior films. We have no doubts that Pixar is willing to go to these lengths to shock the viewer, so this might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. In the trailer, we even see her knocking over other toys to protect Woody, so she's definitely learned how to defend herself in the years she's been absent from the whole gang. Maybe she's just playing a game, and a very sick game at that, to harm Woody. We really hope this isn't the case, but with these types of movies, we can't know until it's released. Andy's kid? Does Andy have a son? I know what you're thinking. That may be the craziest thing you've ever heard. But let us explain. There is a boy seen in one of the trailers for Toy Story 4 that many fans have pointed out does not appear to look like the young Andy that we've come to know and love. What if this was done on purpose because he is, in fact, not Andy at all? I mean, look at him. He shares some traits with Andy, but also has some very different characteristics not seen in prior designs of young Andy. This is a very big detail that Pixar certainly put in for a reason, thus leaving us with 2 options for what this could mean. Option A, this is a new design of Andy, or B, this is Andy's son. For this theory, we're definitely guessing it's B, because Andy is at the point in his life where he might want to settle down and start a family of his own. Also, some may notice that this character in question has Buzz and Woody in his hands, swinging around what we think is his room. We believe Andy may have somehow acquired his old toys again and given them to his son, potentially from Bonnie or perhaps through some online marketplace. Maybe Andy wants to connect with his son by giving him a small piece of his childhood. Hopefully that's what's going on here. Tying the knot. It's no secret to anyone that Buzz Lightyear and Jessie have a little romance going on, as is clearly seen in the events that played out during the 3rd installment. After all, Jessie does know about his secret Spanish mode. But even before this relationship blossomed, Woody and Bo Peep had their own thing going on. We're wondering if these potential relationships will actually amount to anything after all this time. It's only been 20 years since Bo and Woody shared a couple of kisses. Wouldn't it be nice to see them tie the knot? Or, in the case of our resident cowgirl Jessie, tie the reins. We bet fans would love this to be a side plot within the movie, but as we stated in the previous theory, Bo Peep could potentially be manipulating Woody. At least Buzz and Jessie seem to really like each other. However, as is the case for all fan theories, only time will truly tell. There's one more theory that might cause a hiccup in all this love talk. It's totally possible that Bo Peep could drive her relationship with Woody and the one between Buzz and Jessie straight into a roadblock. We believe this because of the way in which Bo tries to convince Woody not to return home to Bonnie. She, or Woody, if she can convince him, may try to get Buzz to do the same. This could cause tension with Buzz and Jessie because one of them would likely want to go with Bonnie, and the other could potentially want to live free as Bo Peep does. With no doubt in our minds, this would cause an extreme uproar in both relationships and may even cause the relationships to end entirely, splitting our favorite characters apart. We can't stress enough that we really don't want this to be the case, although it would make for a very entertaining and compelling storyline. Concluding thoughts. Out of all the theories we've discussed today, we think at least one of them could potentially prove true and change the events of Toy Story 4 entirely. There are so many plot lines Pixar's writers could have followed in this movie, even more so when we consider that the entire first script for the film was eventually changed up, giving us the version of Toy Story 4 that we'll see in June. What revisions the team made, we may never know, but we are confident that Pixar won't disappoint us with the last entry in one of, if not the most, beloved animated movie franchises to ever exist. That's all for today, folks. What theories do you have about Toy Story 4? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to InZone and ring the notification bell so you can be one of the first to know when we release new content. Thanks so much for stopping by today. We'll see you next time.